Hey, what's up guys? Grimsy42, and believe it or not, I actually have a thrift store find, which is very, very rare for me. When I first started collecting games again a couple years back, you know, at first I would go to the thrift stores often, and, you know, I started to kind of analyze my track record, and I know it's supposed to be hit or miss, but it was so bad that I was literally spending like 4 times more gas than I was finding games. And when I would find games, it would be like junky PS2 sports games or stuff like that. So, you know, I really never had an amazing Goodwill score or thrift store score like a lot of people have, you know, and that really kind of bummed me out. But every now and again, I do get the occasional itch, and I stopped by one of my local Salvation Armies while I was out looking for NES games just to see what they had, and believe it or not, I was pleasantly surprised. The first thing I spotted, I actually left it there because I kind of felt like it was still going to be there when I'd already went, you know, and looked around at other stuff. So I immediately came into the store and I looked at the glass cases, and that's where I spotted the first item. But then I cut out over to where the DVDs are, and I was looking, and I really didn't see anything. But then something red caught my eyes, and my eyes got pretty big. It was kind of like, I assume anyway. But this is what I saw. So I got extremely excited because not only does this case look nice and clean and shiny, but this is like a $30 game still. And the Goodwill charges like, or sorry, Salvation Army like $4. So I was really excited. So I pick it up, and yeah, it looks like somebody decided they wanted the manual, or I'm sorry, the disc, a little more than I did. So I asked one of the employees if maybe they just kept the discs behind a counter or something, and he said no, unfortunately somebody stole it. And he tried to take it from me, and I says, well, let me see if they'll give it to me up front. He was like, oh, they're not gonna, they're gonna keep it. So, well, here's the proof they didn't. But I went up there and I grabbed the other item. And believe it or not, what it was a, I would say pretty clean. It's got one big scratch on it. If you can kind of catch the glare right there, it goes across it. But it says as is on it, and it was $10. And it's a pretty clean, fat PS2. This little back piece isn't here, but that's really just like a plastic clip, and it's not really necessary. They probably had the network adapter on there or something like that. But it also came with both cables. The controller was there, and in truth, there actually were 2 controllers, but they were just destroyed. I mean, the wires were frayed, and you could see like the inner wires, and the analogs were like physically chewed off. It was just disgusting. But I definitely knew that this was worth more than $10. And on a hunch, I actually tested it out when I got home, and believe it or not, it works, and it's quiet. It's not like in really bad shape or nothing like a lot of the PS2s you see. And the other cool thing is that there actually was a game in here. I think it's DDR Extreme 2, if I'm not mistaken. So for $10, I thought that was pretty cool. And believe it or not, they actually threw this in for free. So now if I spot a disc only, I can upgrade to a complete copy, and that'll make for some definitely cool trade bait. Okay, the other part of this video is another road trip I took down to Erie, PA. It was kind of on a whim. I really didn't plan it or anything. I just woke up and was kind of like, you know what, I'm in the mood for Chick-fil-A, and I didn't work. And if you guys aren't aware, there's no Chick-fil-A's near me, so the nearest one is over in Erie, PA. So I drove up there, and I went with my buddy, and the first store we went to was a store called Game World, and I was really hopeful that they would have some good stuff, and I did find some decent stuff. The owner's pretty cool. He actually lets me look at some of his stock that he hasn't displayed and hasn't priced yet, so I got to find a few things. So I'll go ahead and show you guys what I got. The first thing I got was a very clean copy of Pokemon Stadium 2. Next are 3 RPGs. First one, Legend of Mana. Next one is Threads of Fate. And the last one is Saga Frontier 2. Now the cool thing is I actually didn't have any of those. I also didn't have that Pokemon, so those are all new games to my collection. And these 3 average between 20 and 30 a piece, you know, if you were to look on eBay or whatever. The next thing I grabbed is something I've wanted to get for a while. And, you know, either I never find it at the right price or the right condition. But I was definitely excited to get it. And it is the limited edition of Metal Gear Solid 4. Now, I am a huge fan of Metal Gear. Unfortunately, I actually have never played Snake Eater, which is the third one. And I have only dabbled in 4. I played it for like 10 minutes. But I'm a huge fan of the first one. And I really like the second one. I did beat both of those. So I've always kind of wanted to get all the Metal Gears. And I already had this game, but I didn't have this version. Now, what's really cool, in some people's mind, is it's only got the one disc in there. It's got the bonus Blu-ray. It doesn't actually have the game. Well, that works out because all I had was the game, so now I can bundle these together. And I'm pretty sure the case was the same on the inside, so it's not like I'll be missing out or anything. It's not like it'll look different. There may be like no barcode or not for resale somewhere on it, but I'm not really that concerned, so I was definitely happy to add this. And the last thing that I got there is something else that I've really had my eye on for a while. And I knew this guy would give me a good price, so I picked it up. And it's the Castlevania Lords of Shadow Collector's Edition. And I actually already have this game, just because I couldn't find the Collector's Edition at a good price, so I kind of settled and got the game. And ironically, I actually got the game from this guy months and months and months before. So I'll be glad to show you guys what it has. It's got the plastic slipcover here, and then it's cool. It's kind of like a book. So the book opens, and it's got like, you know, like art and stuff like that. And if you keep turning, it's got a music disc right here. And there's like the song list. And then there's the game, and there's the manual. So it's kind of a cool little collector's edition. And I kind of figured that I could either keep or trade the other one. I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet, but definitely happy to add this to the collection. So just to recap, guys, Pokemon, Castlevania Collector's Edition, the Metal Gear Collector's Edition, and then those 3 RPGs. And just quick off the top of my head, I mean, it's probably like, I don't know, 30, 60, 90, 120, I think maybe 170 retail, you know, like if he were to charge full price. But the guy always takes really good care of me. And he actually gave me all of that stuff, plus a few NES titles that I'm not going to show until my Quest for NES show. And he gave it all to me for $70. So I thought that was a really, really good deal. And the NES titles were decent, so I thought I got a good price. It was definitely more than half off, so he definitely took care of me there. And the next store that I went to was a place called Buybacks. It's kind of a cool store. I was a little disappointed when I went there because their stock keeps shrinking. It's just probably because a lot of people are buying and not so many people are selling the retro games because it's such a collectible hobby right now. And a lot of people have clued into the fact that taking your games to like a local trade-in store is just not a smart idea. In most cases, they're not going to pay much more than 50% of what it's worth, if that. And a lot of times, they're not even sure what the real price is. So, you know, sometimes they charge an arm and a leg, and sometimes they don't charge it. So the amount that they offer is just, you know, usually not on par with what people are willing to part with for, you know, or to accept to part with the game. But the first thing I did, they've got kind of a retro case. I head right over to there. This is actually the place that I found a complete-in-box Demon's Crest this past summer for $40. So I was excited, hoping I would find something. And, I mean, I scoured it. I really didn't see much. And then, at a second glance, I spotted one game that I wanted for the price. I believe it was $2 or $3. I think it was $1.99 or $2.99. And it's Turrican for the Sega Genesis. So yeah, and the thing that's odd about this is I actually think it's an unlicensed game. It says Accolade on the back, but this really doesn't look like a legit Sega Genesis game. It actually looks a lot more like an EA game, if that makes any sense, but I'm pretty sure this was unlicensed, so that's kind of neat. The next thing I got is a game that I've had my eye on multiple times. I'm not the biggest fan of the genre, but I definitely do enjoy it, and it's one that I never owned. So it's Capcom Fighting Evolution. And this is kind of like a cool compilation. It's got like characters from like Street Fighter Alpha 2, Street Fighter 3, Darkstalkers, and then a game that was never released in the States called Red Earth. So that's pretty cool that it just has like a variety of different styles that they kind of combine into one. And that was, I think, $3, maybe $2. That's one of the cool things about this store is they have a lot of games that are really inexpensive. This is another one that was inexpensive. I think it was $3, and it's Phantasy Star version 2 for the Sega Dreamcast. And the last thing that I got, I actually was kind of tipped off about, and I'm surprised, honestly, that the person who tipped me, which is Boomstick229, didn't pick it up herself. It was about half of what it normally sells for, and it's definitely something that was on my want list, so I was totally happy to pick it up. And it's the Arc the Lad collection by Working Designs. And I've already taken all the stuff out, so I can go ahead and show you. It's got the actual game itself, or multiple games, but it's 5 discs. And then it's got this really nice hardcover instruction manual, and it's like full color, so that's really high quality. And then the Omake box, and in here, as you can see, it's still got the little cellophane over it. Everything is pretty much untouched, so fantastic condition. Totally happy to get this, and a definite awesome addition to my collection. And I'm pretty sure that this was $35, so I was totally okay paying that. So definitely excited about that. But anyways, guys, that's going to wrap this video up. I hope you guys enjoyed, and take care.